There's one. There's two. And I have no sound in my right headphone.
Well, twist it real good.
Testing. 1, 2. Testing 1, 2, 3. Wah, 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 wah. She don't like to cooperate right off the bat.
But she's been sitting there for like a week.
I get angry when I haven't been used to 2 weeks.
Here, that's Ashley.
What's up, everybody?
Hey! That was good.
Welcome to Lights, Camera, Cocktails. We have a great show for you tonight. Hi, sis. How you doing? Assalamu alaikum.
Salaikum salam, my brother. My brother. Yes, it is Black History Month.
Yes,
up
it
in here.
is. How's everybody doing tonight? I am ready. I am tired. It has been a week.
It has been.
We got a movie for you guys, and it is 3 hours and 21 minutes long. We are going to do this show in a fraction of that.
That's the plan.
Because we're talking about a movie, about a story.
About a man.
About a man.
About a prince.
Uh-huh.
Malcolm X.
Malcolm X. Yes, we did.
So in honor of Black History Month,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you, like I always do, I'm going to drop you with a Black History fact.
Oh, yes, please.
Okay, so, like in this movie, Malcolm X talks about how black people's names are our slave names, which is true.
Yes.
Our last names are based off of our slave owners, just kind of branding them so they know which plantation they go to. But the very first African American last name is Freeman, because they would put on their thing like Jason Freeman.
Yeah.
Because they were free men at that point. And they had to make sure people knew so they wouldn't just be 12 years a slave in them and just rounding them up. So that's a little Black History fact for you.
I love that.
Yeah. All right, but I don't know about you.
What's up?
But I'm ready to dream.
Can we please? Can we
getting hot.
please drink? And this looks good.
I had a very, very hard time coming up with a drink for this movie, being that Muslims do not drink alcohol.
I am, praise be to Allah, because this is a beautiful drink.
Praise be to him, because I made this drink. So it was called, I want to say, the New York. And I kind of changed some stuff around so I could change the name.
I see.
So what you're going to need is a shaker with some ice, and you're going to put 1.5 ounces of bourbon. You're going to do 1 ounce of freshly squeezed lemon juice.
Make sure it's fresh.
I did. I was in there squeezing it.
I'm telling the people.
Yeah, make sure.
Make sure it's fresh.
Make sure it's fresh. 1/2 ounce of simple syrup.
Okay. I always like it sweet.
I do. And then you're going to put 1 ounce of fruity red wine. So it suggested like Zinfandel, but I was like, you know what? That's not red enough for me, because I named this Detroit Red, which is Malcolm X's nickname.
Yes.
Before he joined the nation.
Yes.
And he was called Detroit Red, and his really good friend, Red Fox,
Yes.
called Chicago Red.
Okay.
So I was inspired by that, and that's when I did this. You're going to shake the bourbon, the lemon, and the simple syrup, and then you're going to put it in your rocks glass, and then you're going to float the red wine on top. So I use sangria, because I felt like, what's fruitier wine than sangria?
Tootie.
Tutti frutti.
Tootie? I'm fruity.
Then you're going to put a lemon twist in it, and that, my friends, is the Detroit Red.
That is a fresh lime. Or lemon, excuse me.
All right.
Well,
Cheers.
sis.
Yes. Cheers, Smash. I like how it's layered. I love it.
Yes. Let me tell you something, sister.
That's good.
You're blowing my mind. That's a really good drink.
It is. It's kind of
That's
giving
nice.
me like
That's really nice.
like a sidecar kind of, but like fruitier. I like it.
I know it's not a musical movie, but I'm feeling musically inclined. Maybe because of the scene that we got to do later.
Yes, definitely. Okay.
But I'm going to enjoy that. I was going to restrict myself, and now I might not.
I mean,
we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens,
I
people.
the shit. Let's do this. Okay, so you ready for a little bit of history? What do you think we're gonna do some history on?
My man.
Your
Maybe
man.
not.
No, because like I feel like the whole movie is like
True.
about him.
That is a yeah. That's
Yeah.
true. What are we gonna do herstory on? Sangria or Franzia?
There we go.
Ah.
The boxed wine to beat all. Is this your-
Box of wine.
That beats
Let me
all
see that.
boxed wine. All right, you gonna slap the bag? I can pull the bag out for you.
Nah, let's do my little commercial. Puts me right out.
34 glasses.
Damn, Gina,
this
that's
box.
a hefty bag.
I definitely have not had a box wine. Like I haven't bought box wine in quite a long time since like college. So
I mean, we get that boxed wine.
You do. You get
know.
the
we
black
started
box.
with COVID, when we were going for volume.
Oh my God. Okay, so you ready for this herstory?
Yes.
Okay, so let's get in our drunken time machine. What time period you think we're going?
Let's call it 1848. Not even close.
We're literally going to 1900.
Girl, that's a pit stop.
It is, but I mean you were wrong.
By 52 years.
Okay, so in 1900, 29-year-old Giuseppe
Giuseppe. Is Italian.
He's Italian.
Talk about Giuseppe.
And he moved here to San Francisco in California.
We in LA, but yes.
Yeah, well, California. He moved to California.
Here we go.
And he sent a letter home to his home sweetheart in Italy. And he was like, baby, I'll give you $100 if you come here to San Francisco and we get married.
How much was $100 in 1900?
I don't think my calculator goes back that far.
But your time machine does.
Yeah, the drunken time machine. It runs on booze. I'm going to probably say that's probably like a good, healthy amount of change. $100?
Yes. 100. Shit.
Maybe it's like...
I would say it's
60.
easily 10,000.
I feel easily 10,000.
Closer to 50.
I think it's closer to 50 with my math calculator in my
Yeah.
head. And so she said no, though.
Bad.
She did. She was like, I'm not going to a foreign country, I guess. But the word got around in the town that he was looking for a wife for $100 to come live with him in San Francisco.
First mail order bride.
They used to do that. They used to do,
I know.
like, in the newspaper, they were like, I'm looking for a bride. And then
They still do that.
They
Just
still
not
do that.
here.
Just not here. But, okay, so he did that. And Tracy, a 21-year-old, was like, yo, run me that 100. I'll get out there and we can like do the damn thing.
Giuseppe, you give me the money, I give you the... Well.
And Giuseppe.
Wow.
And Giuseppe was like, okay, bet. And so she came out here, in which in 3 days they got married.
They used to do it like that.
They didn't have time
Rolling
to waste.
the dice.
And I think this is great because she's way better than the other chick. So they worked in local vineyards up in, like wine country up north. And they made enough money to save some money that they can open their own vineyard.
Nice. I like
And
that.
so-
In the Bay.
In the
which
Bay.
is the way to go if you're going to do it in
If you're
California.
going to do it in California, it's either there, which is the #1 spot, or here in Temecula. That's it in California.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Temecula's kind of making that happen.
Yeah, that's where Wilson Creek, where I'm a member, is
There
in
you go.
Temecula.
Yeah, we did a couple of Airbnb spots out there.
I've
Little
never
wine
stayed,
tastings.
but it's nice.
Oh, well, we did mushrooms, but
You got to stay home.
wine and
stay-
mushrooms.
That sounds awesome.
We make terrific pair, like
Where was
lamb
I?
and tuna fish.
Lemon tuna fish. No.
Maybe
Okay.
you prefer spaghetti and meatballs.
Yeah, of course. Who doesn't? So they saved up. So by 1906 is when they started having their winery and they started popping out them kids.
I thought you were gonna say that.
They had a lot of kids.
Yeah.
And this bitch, she's such a hardworking lady that one of her kids she had out in the vineyard and like wiped it up, put it in a basket, and kept picking her grapes.
Damn.
Like I said, women have
By the
babies
time-
in fields, okay? So
Coming out like Stargate, just.
at least that's the rumor, the legend
I've
of
heard
this woman.
that rumor before.
And I mean, I believe it because she seemed like I saw her picture. She seemed like a boss lady. Like she ain't messing around. So then Prohibition happened. Okay, in the 20s, and you couldn't sell alcohol anymore.
Yeah, no.
But you could make your own wine at home. That was legal. So they went.
Which I've heard some theories about prohibition, but we won't get into it today.
But so she, instead of selling wine, they sold their grapes so that people can make wine at home. And so they didn't really like lose nothing during the prohibition. They even ended up buying more farms around them to expand their winery.
What kind of wine you call this? Pata. Why? Because it smells like my wife's feet.
So, yeah, and I saw pictures of people doing it I Love Lucy style, stomping them
Hiking
grapes.
Up them.
I was like, damn, I would do that.
Oh, yeah.
My winery does offer it like during the summer.
I was saying, nowadays they pay to do that.
Yeah, and I would pay to do it just so I could be Lucy with it.
Dude, like, that's like the ultimate come up. You got a winery, you set up a bin with all the grapes, and you have civilians pay to do it. You're making money twice. You don't have to pay anybody to do it. People come and do it themselves.
Do I
Got
get
check for corns, check for
you got to wash your feet
bunions,
before you go in
I
there.
mean?
They're like,
all that stuff.
They're like, your feet
don't
look-
taint the wine.
you got athlete feet. You can't stomp on this. So after Prohibition, they were doing good, living the life. And Giuseppe was like, you know what? I'm tired. I'm like ready to retire. He goes back to Italy to go see his homies, his family. And
That bitch, she better not.
Well, she's a boss bitch. Okay?
I'm not talking about her. I'm talking about the first one that said no.
No, I heard nothing about her.
Okay.
Like, I hope she didn't try to. She's like, oh, I hear you're a rich man in America. Yeah.
Back burner, bitch.
Yeah. And so when he left, Trina, she.
Her name was Trina? I'll take it.
She took out a $10,000 loan. She gave $5,000 of that to her son-in-law so that he could open up his E&J winery. Ever heard of it?
Once or twice. But I don't remember that night.
But you know of E&J. I used to buy it for your grandma, dude.
I have no recollection of the event in question.
Well, that's where they got their seed money was, from their mama.
Damn.
Then she gave another $5,000 to her sons and was like, okay, like, run your shit, do your stuff. And
Mom's had 5 on it.
Eventually she dies, obviously. You know, you can't live forever.
Like you do.
And in
I'll let you know.
In 1933 is when they just started their real winery. Instead of, like, you know, kind of making local wines, selling the grapes.
They put in 40 years and then they started their winery?
This is when they started putting their name on the label and it
Gotcha.
becoming a thing. They're starting to distill it and send it out into the world. And, you know, they had trucks and, like, all the things. And so it was going great until the 70s when they sold it to Coca-Cola.
Some bitch.
Yeah. And so when that happened,
Vultures.
one of the grandsons of Giuseppe was like, that's fucked up. We should never have sold it to them. So he leaves and he starts his own winery. He has some fraudulent issues by saying he was using certain grapes that he was not using, which you can't do that in the wine world.
No, they know.
Yeah. And so he had to not step down for 5 years and pay like $500,000.
Get the fuck out of here.
And after the 5 years, he came back. He started tincturing with stuff. He made a deal with Trader Joe's. And I'm sure we've all drinking $2 Chuck.
That's him?
That's him.
Damn.
Right?
Chuck. Okay.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Trader Joe's and been hurting and wanted to get some wine?
Wait, Trader Joe's was around way back in the 40s?
No, by this time we're in the 80s.
Okay.
We're in like the 80s, 90s by this time.
Okay. Copy. I see you.
So yeah, in 81 is when we know the wine the way we see it in the box.
Box of wine.
Box of wine.
1981.
Started in the, I want to say the 60s or 70s in Australia. They started doing them. That's when they started playing the bag game, slapping the bag, and all that stuff started in Australia. And by the time it got to the 80s, it kind of got here. And they were like, you know what? We should do that. It is very smart because it's easier to transport your wine.
Yeah.
You can sell large batches of it and not just a single bottle.
Uh-huh.
The weight of it is less. And so all that money,
Shipping is less.
shipping is less, and all that money is saved for us. That's why this
Fuck
big
yeah.
ass this big box, $13.
Nice.
Okay. And they did say that box of wines, stock started going up during 2020. A lot of people were buying box of wine because it was very
We don't know
easy.
how. It's 2 weeks my ass.
Yeah. 2 weeks my ass.
Well, I see you. And I raise you.
All right. And so that's a little bit of her story. This drink is good. It's like,
It's nice. It always goes down smooth.
it is going down soon.
Drink it in.
But I don't know about you,
I don't know about me.
but it's time
It's time.
for the motherfucking drinking game.
Y'all can see, but
Yes,
Ashley is dancing behind those cameras. You better dance into frame.
Dance it into frame.
Shake what your mama gave you. Shake what you... Oh, all right. fine.
What's up, Smash?
Hey,
baby.
we're good.
Smash in the motherfucking building.
Woo, we've been
You
busy.
see?
No.
I
All
think
right,
it's time.
everybody on three
Glitching.
said. Wah, wah, wah.
I think it's time to change the battery.
Oh no.
Okay.
The air horn has
But the-
seen its last
Yeah.
while.
Good.
Oh,
We're woo.
it was
Ooh.
a time.
It only lasted like a year.
It was proud.
Should I get my arcade?
Pew
gun?
pew.
Oh my, your little pew pew.
Pew.
Show
Alright.
pew pew ass in this frame.
How do you feel about this
Alright.
drink?
I like it.
It's good.
Oh.
Yeah, it's good. Forgive me if woo. We watched this movie in a busy week.
We watched it on a busy ass
on
week.
Abbott.
Hey.
Woo, this
Season 3.
this 3-hour movie
3 hours and 21
took a
minutes.
lot out of.
I'm sorry. When I picked the
No, don't
movie,
be sorry.
I was like, yes, Black History Month,
Yeah.
Spike Lee, Denzel, Malcolm. Like, I was about
It
it.
needed to be this
It
long.
did.
Yeah.
It did.
You know, the
You can't short
man
it.
had more lives than most get.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
In his short amount on this earth, he had a lot of experience.
Yeah, we go from like the 20s to like
Yeah.
the fucking 60s.
Yeah.
It's just like the late 30s, early 40s, right?
Well, when he was a kid.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But so feel free to jump in, help me out. I did come up with a drinking game.
We got you.
Little sleep deprived. This will
Okay.
be fun.
It's going to be fun.
I don't know if you guys remember this. I wore this shirt when we went marching.
Oh, uh-huh.
Yeah, I do
Yep.
remember
Yep.
that.
The BLM
You sure
movement
did.
during the pandemic, or as our friend Tema likes to call it,
The pan.
Pan pan? Oh my God, I love that.
Just lighten it up, the
I
pan
like
pan.
that. I know. Pan pan.
All right, let's start this drinking game.
Okay.
You're gonna take a sip every time there's police brutality.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, so does like
This is not the,
clips?
happiest drinking game.
Right.
y'all.
Yeah,
Just-
that's
okay.
it's kind of I was trying to do
Yeah.
like
This
That's true.
movie is a
Either-
reality
yeah.
movie.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
like-
either fun
you're not gonna be
moments or to honor moments.
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Okay. I like that.
take a sip every time Malcolm gets his hair straightened.
Okay.
He's like, oh, it's burning.
I'm holding, but it's burning.
He's like, oh yeah, I like the old man. He's like, oh yeah, just wait. Like,
Uh-huh. He hooked
Like
me
in
up.
his
Look what he did
eyes.
for
Me.
me.
His balls. I'm pretty sure he did, like his hair was conked
Get
out.
your head
but
out of the shit
Yeah.
bowl.
He was in there.
I felt so bad. I mean, but at that point,
Dude. the
I
jig is
have
up.
permed my hair. It does hurt, especially if you pre-scratch your head like the day before.
oh,
Then when you put it in there, you will start to feel the burning. Obviously,
Yikes.
the stuff that they use now is a lot different than what they were using in like Zoot Suit days.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
Even in the
Yeah.
Tina Turner.
Tina
days.
Turner, she went
Now,
bald.
You know you need an ass whooping.
Woman, yeah. Ooh, exactly. So it was a lot stronger than it is now, but
Okay.
it does still kind of burn if you leave it on too long or if you like scratch a lot.
Good to know. Take
Is
a
it
sip.
straight? I ain't doing this again.
I ain't doing it. He's like, hold on. Yeah, you got to comb it down to make it straight.
Uh-huh.
Take a sip every time there's a flashback.
Ooh, those are some dark flashbacks.
Yeah, I wish he had a happier childhood.
You know,
It seemed very horrible.
Wouldn't
made him the
been the
character,
same
yeah.
history.
He wouldn't have been the
Yeah.
same, definitely. But I could still hope for it. I
mean-
don't want nobody's house to be burnt down.
Agreed.
With the babies
Twice.
inside twice as a kid and an adult. Like that's a lot.
It's a lot to go through.
Yeah.
That's a full circle situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
And Betty
it
was
also
panicked,
one of those
like-
fool me once situations. Shit.
He said, if I
By
had
the
a
time
gun,
Malcolm was an adult, motherfucker, my house has been burned down once. You think I'm shooting to scare you? No.
no, he said,
Fuck
I'm gonna
no.
kill anybody. The
Fuck
first
no.
person I saw would have been shooting him.
Exactly.
Yep.
Sorry, my allergies are flaring up. A little
Easy
sniffle.
sniffle McSniffleson.
That's all good.
All right, take a sip. Every time someone says Malcolm's father committed suicide.
Ah, the fuck he did.
How
all the
can you
lies.
hit yourself in the back of the head and then jump in front of a trolley? Like, how you do that? Mm-hmm. That's suicide.
We don't write the statement, ma'am. But do you pay, motherfucker?
They ain't paid. They did not pay.
Fuck
Yeah.
no, they didn't.
Yeah, they'll find any reason. You know
Any
insurance.
reason to save that
That's
money.
still today. They'll
Oh, yeah.
find any reason to not pay you.
Absolutely. It's not how they make money.
No.
Insurance companies, get the fuck out of here. I wish we were doing Little Giants. You could play the little boy that like
The
got
bubble?
the what did you put in this shit?
Bourbon and sangria.
Sure, it's
Oh,
not
okay.
gin. Okay.
No gin.
The booger bubble.
But I have been drinking gin and tonics at home. But I don't have to think when I'm at home. It's fine.
Take a sip every time Malcolm starts narrating.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Okay.
Thanks.
I like that.
Thank you.
Which Denzel is known for that in a number of his movies.
Narrating his movies.
Narrating his
Because
movies.
he got that sexy ass voice.
Like
I
he does that
almost-
again in Hurricane.
Yep.
I
You know what I
almost
mean?
put Drake every time he's eating or like chewing gum or something. I feel like that's a Denzel thing. Where he's chewing. He chews a lot.
He chews a lot.
If
but
anything, I would say the pointing. That's the Denzel thing. It's the point.
if he guarantees something, I guarantee.
I guarantee it. I like the way you look. I guarantee it.
I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Take a sip every time Malcolm challenges a white man.
Okay.
Ooh, I like when he gets the priest in the jail. He was like, "So, what color was Jesus?"
Uh-huh.
He's
Gotcha.
like, "He white." Well, what color were the disciples? I don't know. Then how you know Jesus white? Because in the Bible it says he's got dark skin and wool like hair, and our Jesus got like a blowout going on. Like that's not the same.
I like the scene that we did where he's in the police department. It's like, well, until I am satisfied that this man is receiving the proper medical care, no one will move.
And that's challenge. He's challenging. Yeah.
Exactly. Then they're outside, and he's getting loaded up into the ambulance. Are you satisfied? All right. He's on his way. Now clear this out. No, I'm not satisfied.
Come on, we
To
go
the
for
hospital.
this. Yep. And we
Let's
just-
go.
Yep. Crowd started coming. They're like, "What's going on?"
Doesn't even look at him. No, I'm not satisfied. We're out of here. Let's go.
You're gonna take a sip.
Something.
This is in the beginning, but every time Malcolm hits on a girl,
Oh,
He flirts a lot.
He was He was
flirts.
kissing
it's
on
very
the
quick. He does
on
a lot
his-
of quick, like just touching them.
Oh, yeah.
his
Absolutely.
girlfriend, the white girl,
Absolutely.
the waitress, everybody.
All of
This
them.
is hot.
Even after he knocks out Homeboy with the bottle,
He's just
Yeah.
like
he cleans Homeboy
Yeah.
up as she hands him
his
the
hat. She dusts his hat off. Yeah, I thought we were going to the movies last night. He's like, we were. Fucker.
And the next one after this one is take a sip every time Laura,
Oh.
Malcolm's first girlfriend, is seen with the wrong guy.
Ooh, in the bar, out on the street.
Yeah. It's probably only a couple times, but still,
It's
you're
only a
drinking
couple
and
times,
you know.
Dang, he shouldn't have did her like that. I
Well,
mean,
I
but
mean, he
like,
tried to be right by her,
he
though.
was. He was
he
like,
knew
listen
he
to
wasn't
your
the
grandma.
one.
Mm-hmm.
He knew he wasn't the one. He just didn't know that she would fall into that.
Yeah.
She got some junkie who's just asking. Look,
Junkie motherfucker.
I don't mind giving money to people And if you're in a tough spot and I can help, I will. But if you're my man and you're constantly asking me for money, then what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Agreed.
What are we doing here?
Now, mind you, this was 1930 something, maybe 40 at the
So
latest.
definitely you shouldn't be asking your lady for fucking money back then.
100%.
Yeah.
Because your lady only has so many ways of making money,
Yep.
which is why they state, like,
He
has
said
he turned her out yet?
said
It's
she
like,
gonna have him
but
on
it's
the
gonna
street.
happen any day
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which begs the question, why didn't he intervene? Like, he went to intervene, but then, what's his name, interjected and caught his attention and needed him at that moment. But there's also the next day.
Because I don't think that he was the Malcolm that we
He
know.
wasn't the Malcolm.
He wasn't that guy yet.
You're right.
He hadn't been to jail yet.
Yeah, he wasn't that guy yet who would do anything for his wife. Like, you see how much he loves his wife?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get into it.
Yeah. Take a simp every time you hear the sound effect of a gun.
Oh my God, I was thinking that too. Because it's them like running through the
Foreshadowing.
park.
Yeah.
He's like shooting at him. They were like playing some games. The shotgun during the song. There's some like shotgun noises. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, there was one point in the movie you were like, "What was that?
Oh.
Was that intentional?" I'm really,
Yeah, they just keep putting them in there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, when they're
Little
playing
foreshadow.
Bogart.
Yeah.
Was it Cagney and Bogart or something like that?
He's like, you used to be great or some shit like that. Had him out.
You're too short, shorty.
Too short,
Take a simp every time Malcolm loses his temper.
Okay. He doesn't.
Mostly in the beginning.
Like, in the beginning for the most part. He loses it once that I can think
Twice
of
when he's like
when he's Malcolm.
with his wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when he comes in
Yeah,
and
he's
everybody,
like, "Don't you
nobody
raise
got
your voice
shit.
in my house.
Yeah.
That look at in the bottle when he hit the.
That's
breaks
Oh
before.
yeah, he does it.
Right.
Okay, but that
Yeah.
still works.
You ever.
Look,
in prison, he
Bring
loses
up
his
my
temper
mother.
a
He
lot.
does. That's true. He had to work on that. That was.
Yeah.
We all do.
We all do. Yeah.
Take a simp when Malcolm learns something new about Allah.
Ooh.
Okay. I like.
As in, like, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us, or when he makes discoveries on his own.
I guess both. Or he starts learning a lot in prison, like when he's
Yes, he
reading.
does.
Yeah, about the nation. Mhm.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'll take it.
Trying to.
It's a lot of simping,
I
pimping.
know.
A lot of
I guess
simping,
it's not
pimping.
A lot more than I thought. Take.
I mean, you got 3.5 hours.
I know.
So,
so you're gonna.
stretch
So
it
you're
out.
gonna do-
Stretch it.
This
out.
isn't a 3 drinking
No,
game.
it's not.
More like
No,
4 to 5.
Yes.
Is there intermission?
Oh. If, a water break.
A water break?
Yeah, finish. I got one. Finish a drink if you're watching the VHS box set when you gotta
Oh,
switch.
When you gotta switch
tapes.
the tape.
I love that.
That's when you get your water.
love
Yeah, we had it on the 2 tape.
I'm gonna put that in. I
We
like
had
that.
it on the 2 tape.
Thanks for your help.
And that's a water break.
Okay.
I like it.
Take a sim every time Malcolm is preaching.
Ooh. Okay.
You been had.
Yeah.
You been
Plymouth Rock we didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us.
You been had,
Look
bamboozled,
at yourselves.
hoodwinked, led astray.
There's another word. It's called responsibility. Mm-hmm. And I said by any means necessary.
And I mean, no matter what you hate about him, once he learned and he knew to do better, he did better.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's all you can ask.
What are you gonna say? Like, what are you gonna say in this one? Take a sim every time Malcolm is speaking to the press.
Ooh.
They be at it. The press be some shady ass
Motherfuckers.
bitches. He's like, so are you still telling all your black people to get guns? Is that still a thing?
I tell you what, when you put down yours, we'll put down ours.
Yeah, I'll tell
When you
mine.
tell your people to put down yours, I'll tell my people to put down ours.
Yeah.
That's a fair
That is a fair
fucking
trade.
statement if I ever heard
Fair
one.
trade. We only have it because we don't feel safe.
Shit. That is a Mexican standoff, and that was not the deal. No trust, no deal.
No trust, no deal. Yes. Yes. We should do that movie too.
I'll speak some German on that one.
Ooh, you know German?
A little
Is it
bit.
in high school?
Furman, German.
Furman German. Sounds racist to me.
Yeah, danke.
Okay.
You're gonna take a sim every time Malcolm receives a threat.
Jesus.
You're dead. You
Your day's a number, Brother Malcolm.
yeah, you yellow skinned, red headed.
Yeah.
Like fuck. Yeah. That's kind of so scary.
All right. And so because of the over 3 hour movie, I have 4 drinks. I have 4 drinks.
Nah,
to
you gotta cut
finish.
one down because we already added one.
Well, that would be the 5th.
Damn.
A
This is-
3-hour tour.
All right, help me. Let me give
Okay,
your
let me-
feedback.
let me
Give
hear
your
'em.
All right.
Let me
Okay.
hear
Ashley
you.
needs help. All right, finish your first drink when Malcolm doesn't have the lottery number.
Ooh.
Okay. He did have the number
He did have the number.
because he said I did
You're slipping,
821 because it was 821 or whatever
Yeah.
when she asked for the time. So he had the number.
Mm-hmm.
It was Wes who fucked up.
Archie.
That's confirmed?
Well, I don't know in real life,
Yeah.
but in the
But in the
movie,
movie.
Okay.
in the movie, he says the time,
Yeah.
and that's what his numbers were. He definitely was right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Finish your second drink when Malcolm meets Elijah Muhammad.
Oh.
Like he imagines him in his
No,
cell.
when he like
Or when he
officially meets
physically
him.
meets
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
I like that.
The turning point. Finish your third drink when the first march happens.
That would be from the police station
Yes,
to
to
the
the
hospital.
hospital.
I like that one.
And he's like, "Let's go." Even the crowd who wasn't with him was like, "Oh, are
They're
we,
like, oh,
are we done?"
making a statement now. We're like,
we're
oh,
lea-
yes.
Okay, we'll all leave. Okay, you're leaving. Okay, then I'm gonna leave.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I like that.
And I have finish. Okay. The ending's heavy.
Yeah, yeah.
So I put finish your fourth and final drink when a change is gonna
It's
come.
gonna come. I told you that song when I hear it.
I would argue that's too early.
Like
But
you want
like-
it when
Because
he's
you got a full, like, 20, 30, 25 minutes left.
Nah, you drink some water. It's a long ass fucking movie.
But I feel like at the end, I don't really. What happens? I don't really want to be.
Like when he gets shot down, you're like,
Yeah.
finish your drink when he's
I
gone.
know,
Like
but-
that does sound a little
Hear
bad.
Hear me out. Finish your fourth, possibly fifth, and final drink when the real Malcolm says, by any means necessary.
I am Malcolm X. Okay. Okay.
Because there's a story behind that.
There is
as
a story.
to why.
Yeah. Okay. How you feel?
Faded.
Yeah.
Feeling X-rated.
X-rated.
It's Mr. Nasty time.
I don't know. Yeah, it's me. It's like It's like the
I get
the
you.
down it, knowing what's coming. I don't know.
I am
would say
Malcolm
no.
X.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, if you finish your last drink on Sam Cooke and change is gonna come, you're finishing your last drink on a low note. But if you finish that last drink on the real Malcolm saying by any means necessary, you're finishing that last drink in a different perspective.
Okay. I like that. And you get Nelson Mandela with it.
Mandela!
This one is from Mandela.
Cry freedom!
I love it.
That's what I got.
I think it's good.
I got one thing to add.
Okay.
You're going to take a sip. Anytime you see Malcolm put 2 fingers up
Oh, he
to
does
his
that a lot.
temple,
Oh, that's a good one.
That's an iconic.
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
I like that.
that's a good one.
I ain't got none. You hit
Is
them.
it
Yes.
okay? Okay.
Yeah, you hit them. Yeah.
Go ahead and tell the people.
Whew.
Tell them.
Smash responsibly.
The smash response. This is a hard one, guys.
Hey!
You tripped on me.
Say
did
it loud.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Happy
ladies.
smashings.
Happy smashing.
Happy smashing.
That's good.
That's a nice drink. I'm going to need you to remember this recipe. That's some good shit.
It's in my head. Yeah, it's all right here.
You don't write anything down. Keep it up here like I do.
Not with my cocktails. I do write it down, but like I usually don't go back to it
West
unless
Indian Archie. We're going to talk about him.
I love his accent.
Yeah, he's
doesn't-
from West India. My mother was. She's from Grenada.
From
you know.
Grenada.
I
does a
like
good-
this man.
Yeah, you did a good accent. That
And I'm out.
was good. All right.
Hi, baby.
So, are you ready for them stats?
Hit Hit me with your best shot.
All right. So the budget for this movie was 30. Wait, nope. This movie dropped November 18th, 1992, baby. And the budget for it was $33 million. Damn. Which in 2024 money is about $73 million, over $73 million. And it made $48 million, which in 2024 money is above $106 million. Damn. So it made money, it made sense.
Hell yeah.
It didn't make as much money as they
projected.
They projected because the year before JFK came out and that shit made a lot of money.
Agreed.
And they thought that this was going to, I don't think they ever thought it was going to make a lot of money.
I mean, you got conflicting things here. You know, the studio wanted a 2-hour movie. You cannot tell this movie in 2 hours.
Nah.
Plain and simple. You cannot tell it.
Either miniseries it or make it into a long-ass movie. Well, like, that's your options.
Not only that, but they tried to get Spike to cut it into a 2-hour movie.
Yeah.
You know? They tried to get him to film in the Jersey Shore in substitute of
Saudi Arabia.
Egypt. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, bullshit. No, absolutely not. And like they told him that JFK was 2 hours and it's not. So they didn't know that he knew Oliver Stone. So he called Oliver and he was like, hey, tell the truth, man. How long is your movie? It's a 3-hour movie. Okay. That's what I thought.
It is a long movie.
No, I'm not going to do it.
You know, I don't watch it that often.
By any means necessary.
That was
what
Spike's motto was.
Did to get this movie made.
So Rotten Tomatoes, critics, 88%, which I think is really good for critics.
Yeah.
It's beautifully shot.
Beautifully
cast. It is long. I feel like at some parts it feels long, but you gotta you gotta
be in the mood to watch it.
You gotta be in the mood to watch it.
That's the thing. Mm-hmm. Sit down with some coffee and a nice pastry and just settle in, knowing that you're going to be there for 3.5 hours.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I mean? This is a movie that gets better with each viewing. Mm-hmm. And that's all I have to say about that.
So the audience, 91%.
Fuck yeah.
Because they know what's up. The ZZ Fresh, 100. I think it's great. I think that, you know how I feel about historical movies. Mm-hmm. I do like to find movies that are way more truthful to what actually happened over, fantasize. Our last one, Apollo 13, was pretty close to being the truth.
Absolutely.
Malcolm X is about the same.
Pretty damn close.
Yeah.
Yeah. I give it a 98, 99, somewhere around there. But to no discredit of Spike, it's more so due to what he was up against.
Yeah,
they didn't succeed in stopping him.
Yeah.
But their constant breaks, their constant distractions, their constant meddling, a slight impact.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do. I watched a documentary or the behind the scenes.
Sure.
By Any Means Necessary. And Spike is very...
They knew ahead of time that this movie was underestimated as far as the budget. He told them.
He did. Okay, can I tell you a fun fact? Okay, we're done with the
Let's get into it.
Okay, so Spike.
You got me here. Turn the key.
So they gave him like 27 mil to begin with, and
I thought it was 25.
25. Okay, 25 mil to begin with, but he knew that wasn't gonna work. He needed 30 plus to make this work, and so he talked to his good friend Francis Ford Coppola, and he told him, "You impregnate this movie."
Yes.
Which means you get deep enough in it, and they have to pay you to finish it. At some point,
they've already invested.
They've already invested.
You can't get that money back.
No, so they're gonna put more money in to finish it to try to make more money, which I think is a brilliant. And I'm glad that he listened to that from a great director who had to go through practically the same thing to make the fucking Godfather.
Yeah, absolutely.
So so he knows. He's like, look, I know what it's like to be threatened by a whole group of people.
Yeah.
I know what it's like where people don't want to give you money for this movie and you feel like it needs to be told.
Uh-huh.
I know what it's like where they're telling you your script is too long, but it can't be any shorter than what it is. He knows exactly how he's
Tell
feeling.
the fucking story. I was having this conversation just earlier today with a great actor director, our guest director on Abbott for this episode, Karin. A lot of people recognize him from Deadpool,
Yeah.
from what is it called? Office Christmas Party. He's done
that's
all
right.
kinds of things. Very talented director. You've seen him as a comedian. He's actually
Yeah.
very good as a director also. But we came to the agreement, you have to tell the story. That's your first obligation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's very important to fight for those things that you need. Mm-hmm. The great Billy Walsh from Entourage said that making a movie is like going to war. And the last thing you want to do if going to war is to be unprepared and underfunded.
Yup.
You know what I'm saying?
Because you just wake up with your dick in your hand. Right?
Or in your mouth.
Or in your
Shit.
mouth.
If
Or in your
you-
ass.
In the right movie. Shit. What was that movie? Not Platoon. Courage Under Fire.
Oh, yeah.
Is that the one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Homeboy, they cut it off and put it in his mouth.
Put it in his mouth.
God. That was De Palmo, though.
Yeah. But, what are we talking about? Spike?
Sure.
I'm sorry. I'm out
We're
of
getting
it, you
into
guys.
it
We're
tonight.
getting into
like,
it.
We're gonna keep it tight, but
Well,
passionate.
He had to fight to even make this movie.
Absolutely.
They were going to put quite a few different other white directors in the
Yeah.
spots.
I can't remember the names, but
I know
somebody
Oliver
got
Stone
the rights.
was one of them. The dude who did Moonlight with Cher.
Well, they had somebody penciled in.
They had a bunch of people.
I can't remember the names of these men, but Spike does accredit the penciled-in director, and says that he is a silent hero because he graciously bowed out. Spike pleaded his case.
He's like, look,
they heard him out, and
this isn't like you
this
telling a
director
story.
agreed. Like,
This isn't a story you could just tell. You have to
No.
be a part of it. You need to be a part of the culture. You need to understand, especially what black people, people of
Absolutely.
color were going through at this point of time. And there's nobody who can do that,
No.
especially at that time.
agreed. And Denzel had a great, I don't even know if it's in regards to Malcolm X, but he had a great interview where he talks about this and how it's a cultural thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's very talented directors out there, but a white director doesn't know the sounds that a hot comb makes as it's going through
I mean,
your
they would-
hair.
they'd be
You know,
like,
he doesn't know what the
"Wait,
smell
What is conch?
is.
What is that? Like, what is...
Exactly.
What they were doing? They wore zoot
That's nothing
suits,
against
like, nothing
that
against
director,
it, but you just don't
You're
know.
just not prepared.
You're not prepared.
You don't have the life experience to tell this particular story.
And, I mean...
The same way that a Spike Lee shouldn't be directing a Jewish story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not his area of expertise.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? You
I
can't
mean-
flip-flop Steven Spielberg and Spike Lee for particular stories.
I heard Scorsese was on the... But that doesn't make sense to me because
No, it doesn't.
He only really
He's got
does,
a very specific story that he likes
He
to tell.
likes white Italian men, and that's
Yes.
kind of the
That's
story
what
that
he
he
understands.
tells. And that totally makes a lot of sense.
100%.
His movies make us feel like we know these people. Like, I get it. But when he
the
talks...
fuck out of here.
Get the
It's
fuck
right
outta
here,
here.
right?
Am I haha? Am I funny? Am I here to amuse you?
That's it.
Okay, so like I saw Martin Scorsese was basically talking about that this movie is one of the greatest movies of all time, and that Denzel's performance is one of the greatest, and that he was saying like there is no one who could have told this story.
No, I agree.
Yeah,
We would have had to wait another 50 years for the right formula to come around. We would have had to wait for another Spike
Yeah.
and another Denzel.
and
Another,
I feel like we lost our Denzel already.
what you mean?
Black Panther. Yeah, I feel like we lost ours already. I'm sorry, we don't have to talk about it.
You can get me emotional. I've already
I
been drinking.
know, me
Bring
too.
up the beautiful late great Chadwick Boseman.
Okay, so
Love that man.
when he was done with this movie, not done, but almost done with this movie and did the first showing for Warner Brothers. It was on April 29th.
Yes, it was.
1992.
Yes, it was.
And if you are a SoCal or a Californian, then you know that was the LA riots with
Yes,
Ryan
it was.
King.
That was the day of the verdict.
Yeah, and that's when it all popped off. And so
Absolutely.
people were coming to Warner Brothers to watch this movie when literally what Malcolm X is talking about is happening outside the gates.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was like fucking crazy. I feel like that probably sold people on giving more money because they're like, yeah, this kind of does need a. Nothing has changed.
100%.
Yeah, nothing's changed.
Mm-hmm.
It's so fucking crazy.
Yeah. And the only thing that I will say is that the people at Warner's, they were helicoptered out,
Yeah.
but they did sit through the 4-hour movie, knowing full well that Los
Outside.
Angeles was on fire.
On fire.
I remember those
I remember
days.
those days too. It scared the shit out of me. I remember looking
I
at
visited LA for the first time during that time.
I remember being young and coming out here and going through certain areas and be like, oh shit, yeah.
Yeah, you drive by and you
It was
see
all burnt down
the
and
buildings
everything was
burnt
all
down.
fucked up.
You see the signs that say
Yep.
black owned.
Yep,
like,
black
you
owned.
see the aftermath and the current state that the city was in.
Yeah.
Damn, that shit is strong. Got me fucked up.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And Spike talks about all of this. And he talks about how. So, for the people that don't know, I'll break it down for you. Like we said, he was given a budget of $25 million. He knew that that was not enough. Warner Brothers had a bond company.
Which is something I never really heard of until I guess.
It's basically like
I get it, but
it's an insurance situation. You know what I mean? And so these people were on set with Spike throughout the filming of the movie to protect themselves. Basically. So like they're watching Spike, they're watching the decisions that he's making. They're the ones that suggested that they shoot the Sahara for Jersey Shore. Mm-hmm. You know, because if he goes over budget, then it's out of their pocket.
But if it was like a story about Abe Lincoln or something, they would be like, the story has to be told.
Sure.
Like, you know,
They don't
would
know.
care.
I mean, who knows what bond company it was, but I'm sure it's not a black-owned bond company.
No.
You know what I mean?
Warner Brothers.
They're not emotionally involved or invested like the people in New York that Spike was walking down the street past when he talks about, like,
He does.
before he did this, he was walking down the street and just regular pedestrians, you can't mess this up, man.
Don't fuck this
Don't fuck
up.
up Malcolm X. Don't, you know?
Yeah.
And he knew the stakes of this story. He likes to say that all the movies he did prior to Malcolm X were in preparation of.
I believe that.
And I agree. You learn with each movie, but I do believe that this was the story that he always believed that he was meant to tell. And I think he did a fantastic job. I don't think that there's a director out there at the time. I don't
been
know.
wanting to
There
make
might
this
be
movie.
somebody nowadays. A couple people come to mind that could have gotten close, but I don't think there's somebody that's
Yeah.
better suited to tell the story.
I agree.
No. Or would have had the mental fortitude to continually say no and fight for the things that were necessary.
Because he fought a lot.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely he did.
You want to tell him how he got his money?
You could tell him. You could tell him. I'm sure you got the list written down.
What? Of course I do. Okay. So, after Warner Brothers and what's the other company?
The Bond company.
The bond company was like, no, we're not giving you any more money. He was like, okay. And he took 2 weeks. Well, they came on set and they shut it down.
Yeah,
they gave everybody
they
their
fired
pink
everybody,
slips.
like everything.
They were done. And he took 2 weeks and he wrote down a list of prominent rich black artists, athletes, and entertainers,
teachers, as I understand it, educators,
and he called them, and he was like, "Yo, I need some money." He said the very first person he called was Bill Cosby.
Yes, it was.
And Bill Cosby was like, "Where I send the money?"
Yeah, he's like, the check is in the mail.
Yeah. Then he called Oprah.
Well, check it out. He told Cosby, he's like, no, don't send it. I'm on my way.
I'm gonna go get it.
He likes to say he didn't even come in the house. He got that check and cashed it in before Bill had a chance to change his mind.
Well, I mean, like, Spike gave up his own salary to make this
half
movie.
of his salary went straight to the movie.
So, and even
I hope he got points.
Denzel gave up his salary as well.
Uh-huh.
So, like, they were dedicated to
Not
make
only
this
did
movie.
he give up his salary, he said no to many projects
He did.
in the promise to do this one for
He's
like a year and a half.
I gotta focus on this. I have to change my whole thoughts and being. So yeah, so he called Bill Cosby, Oprah, Janet Jackson, Prince, Peggy Cooper Crawford, the founder of the Duke Ellington School of Arts. And lastly, he said he called
MJ and MJ.
Yes, he called Magic first and was like, "Hey, yo, let me get some money for this movie." And he's like, "Okay, how much you need?" Bet.
Now, mind you, these weren't tax write-offs.
No,
these
he said-
people could not write it off.
No.
They
weren't
don't
getting
get
points.
like points on the movie. They don't get paid back.
Nothing.
They
This is a
don't
donation.
get like, maybe they get a special thanks. I don't know, in the credits.
You get to come to the premiere.
Yeah, that's about it. But this is a gift. He's literally begging for money at this point.
Yeah. And so Magic gave him his money. Mm-hmm. And then smartly he called Jordan and was like, "I need some money." And
Michael
he's like-
Jordan, if y'all don't know.
He's like, "Okay, well, like how much?" And he's like, "Well, I need this much." But Magic, he gave me this much because he
I
knew
love
that
story.
they are competitive against each other.
Well, Michael Jordan in nature,
Yeah,
is
it's competitive.
just notoriously competitive, no matter what it is.
gotta
it
win.
could be darts, it could be ping pong, it could be golf, it could be, I bet you I can piss further than you.
Yeah, no, he's gonna make it happen.
He's gonna make it happen. Exactly.
Yeah, so that's kind of how he made his. Got
I
the
love
money.
that he got Jordan like that because they have such a feud in the first
They
place,
do.
like New York versus the Bulls in the '90s.
Yes.
Oh shit.
So after he got his money, he threw a press conference and basically put Warner Brother on blast and was like, "Yo, they won't give me money to make this great story to the point that I had to go to prominent black people to get this movie made, and that it shouldn't be that way because, you know, I'm sure Oliver Stone didn't have too much problem getting money for
Nope.
JFK to make
Exactly.
this long ass movie that needed to be long and needed to be told. It did." But this is the exact same thing.
100%.
It's the exact same thing.
Exact same thing.
And after he had his press conference the next day, Warner Brothers got
Wrote
rid
that
of
check.
Yeah, they got rid of the fucking other company.
Yeah, the Bond company was
Bond
out of the
company-
picture, and Warner Bros. Was like, let's
the
get
check.
this movie made. Stop making fun of us in the
You
tabloid.
made him look
Stop
like
making us look bad.
trash.
Hey,
Yeah, I'm
I
not
would have been
mad.
like, if
I'm
I
not
was
mad.
Spike, I would have been like, I didn't make you look bad. You made yourself look bad.
Yeah,
Fuck outta here.
It lit a fire under some bitches' asses, and
Yeah,
so they had
absolutely.
to do it.
Absolutely.
Another thing about Spike and him making this movie, when he was doing interviews for this, he told everybody that they needed to send black journalists to interview him
Oh, okay.
because the white ones wouldn't get it.
They wouldn't understand.
Wouldn't understand.
It's not going to translate.
They wouldn't understand. So he said this. It started some controversy because, you know, people get upset when you say you can't.
Sure.
And so they were like, "What? Are you being racist?" And he's like, "No, dude, they just won't understand the culture. So
Sure.
if you got them, send them." And so a lot of people followed by this except for LA Times. They said no. But
Okay.
Premiere Magazine, Vogue, Interview, and Rolling Stone came through and they brought their people of color to come interview him like
Sure.
he asked because, you know, they understand the struggle and the realness of it. But LA Times, they wouldn't do it. And I think it's because they didn't have it. And they didn't want to say that they didn't have a black journalist
I wouldn't
to
doubt
come ask. But Premiere Magazine, I'm glad that he did this. Premiere Magazine said that this request had some internal like discussions going on like, oh yeah, we need to have more diverse.
It raised the
people.
question.
It raised the question. Like, it's hard for us to even send somebody to come do this. Like, you asked for something that should be simple to send a black person to come
Because if
review
it's
a black
hard
movie.
for you to send somebody to do this, then that also, just as a business perspective, that's an entire audience that you're not reaching.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, back in the day, they didn't think we went to the movies.
Yeah.
So they didn't make movies for us or thought that our money went anywhere.
Meanwhile, I want to say like 40% of all ticket sales are Hispanic nowadays, as I understand it.
Well, then they need more Hispanic movies then. If that's what the audience is, let's give it to them.
To this day, we're still fighting for it.
I
man.
know.
To this day, Hispanic TV shows get one pilot greenlit a year, and it usually fizzles out.
Yeah.
They don't give that opportunity to fail.
You see, it took us a long time to be able to. The 90s was our like black TV show dynasty.
Absolutely. Don't change gonna come.
The change gonna come.
I'm not
So,
gonna try
yeah.
to sing it because let's face it, Sam Cooke has arguably the best voice in music history.
But yes. But in doing this, Premiere Magazine looked at themselves and they started hiring more black writers and editors. Just from this one thing that Spike
Before
asked.
it became a requirement.
They were like, "You're right. We should add some people into the mix." But yeah.
I see you. So that's the stats, people.
I just wanted to talk about Spike because just him making this movie.
We're
it
gonna
was
bounce around. We're gonna get into it.
such a
This is
hard thing.
You know, we're gonna talk about what we talk about.
Okay.
We're gonna be passionate.
All right.
You know what I mean? And always sexy.
Gotta keep it sexy. Shut up. Get over here. You don't even got your glasses on.
Let me get my head down. Give him that stare.
That's how I feel right now.
Eyes to the top of the lids.
Spike also told kids to ditch school to go see this movie. He said you'd get more education
Fuck
from
yeah,
this
they
movie
would.
than going
Fuck
to school.
yeah, they would.
But it's too long and too
Come
serious
on,
for high
children. You've
school
been
kids.
had. Come on down to the movie theater. It's a religious experience.
Bamboozled,
You've been.
hoodwinked, led astray.
I know that this is a very serious movie, but also Dave
gotta-
Chappelle did such a good job in Men in Tights with
the glasses.
farce of this.
He did. He put the
Look at
glasses on.
yourself.
Look at yourself. He
Go
did-
on, look at
He
yourself.
did the hand too. He did. I forgot. I love that movie.
I love that movie. Nah, man, that's my name.
Achoo. Kazoo type.
All right, well, let's get into this movie. Let's talk about some things.
Let's talk. What you want? What you want to talk about?
Let's talk about, I mean, we've been talking about the man, Mr. Spike Lee.
Because there will be no movie without this man.
There would be no movie without this man. We've talked about him before. Go check out Do the Right Thing. Go do the right thing and go watch our Do the Right Thing episode.
And Crooklyn.
And Crooklyn, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I love Mr. Spike. I love that he has a very unique style. And he talks about it. He talks about how a Spike Lee joint isn't just him. It is a specific crew.
Well,
That's
he
his...
uses he set up his crew from like college and shit.
Absolutely.
So he still uses
School
them to this day.
Days,
Mhm.
Do the Right Thing, like Jungle Fever.
Yeah.
All these movies had the same crew.
He collected them and keeps them.
Absolutely. From his composer.
Yep.
His DP has always been the same.
Cinematographer,
His
right?
casting, yeah.
Right.
Cinematographer, DP,
DP.
director of photography.
Right. Yeah, the casting director.
Casting, his costume design, which this movie was nominated for Best Costume Design.
Them zoot suits, bitch.
Absolutely.
He had the brightest ass zoot suits.
This movie had 80 speaking roles in it, which is a lot.
And she had to fill them all.
She had to fill them all. It was a behemoth of a task to do. Not only that, but it goes across 4 decades, 5 decades.
Like 4, yeah.
Yeah, and so
'Cause he was 39.
the costumes change each time. Like the first shot of the movie, it was the most difficult shot and the most ambitious shot. So
the crane coming in.
it's not just a crane though. So check it out. They put a Steadicam operator on the crane. So the train that moves by does not work.
Oh, that's right.
It was pulled
Yeah, I was told.
by another train. And then it's, as I understand, it took like 30 minutes to reset the fucking thing.
Well, you got to go backwards.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
All right, back to one, everybody.
Go take a break.
Yeah, go hit up Crafty, grab some coffee. It's gonna be a
uh-huh.
minute. But very talented Steadicam operator is sitting on the crane. So they had like a cage situation for him. So it starts from the train, comes all the way down, and then this Steadicam operator very effortlessly, you don't even see the like
Yeah, he
jerk
is
from
smooth.
stepping off of the crane onto the street and then coming in all the way on Spike Lee's shoes as he's telling the kid, "Nah, you got to get that spot off."
And
You know
then
what I
you don't
mean?
get hit by no cars. Almost.
Exactly.
Yeah, it
it
was
was everybody. It's the BG who, after Spike Lee tips the little kid, makes sure to move the kid out of the way, and is like, "Come on, boy, get you in." He plays it off like you're in traffic, but he's really getting him out of the way of the Steadicam
Steadicam,
operator,
yeah.
so that Spike can walk all the way to the barber shop and do Denzel's hair. It's a one shot, and it's fantastic because that first scene immerses you in the world.
Yeah, yeah. We're
And as
not.
I
at
understand it, it took almost an entire day. Worth it.
I mean, yeah, it's shots like that. You can't just do it and think it's gonna be done in like one or two. Yeah.
Many, many moving parts in that one.
Yeah.
You know, and also, like I said, first, I want to say that was the first day of shooting as well, if I'm not mistaken.
It was.
But it sets the tone
It was day
for
one.
all of production.
That's fucking great.
He likes. I was hearing him say like, he didn't need to preach to anybody about the importance. It was there. Everybody
Yeah.
understood. This is the movie where you bring your A game every
you
day.
don't phone it in.
No,
Because Malcolm never phoned it in.
never. You tired?
I am-
Too bad.
Yeah, I am tired.
As you yawn.
I am tired. Too bad. You got to drink and keep going.
I'm tired.
Good. Let's do this.
We're gonna get into it.
We're
though.
about to get into it.
And of course, like I said, Spike has his specific style. You know, him and his cinematographer, I forget the name right now because I've been drinking, but they have their very stylistic shots that they do. One of them being the double dolly shot, and how Spike does that in
Almost
every movie that he does, if I'm not mistaken. But for this movie, he
Yeah.
said he can't just put it anywhere. It can't be a gratuitous shot. There has to be a reason for that shot.
Just because he's floating. He's not there.
Yes,
He's
but
floating down the street.
he didn't know where to put the shot
Yeah, I can.
in the movie.
Yeah.
He got the idea from Malcolm's late wife, saying that Malcolm, someone knew what was going on that day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's why he didn't come home.
Yes.
Yeah, Dr. Betty Shabazz,
Mm-hmm.
his wife, she was consul on this movie.
Mm-hmm.
So she kept it real to form, and she said the only thing about it that wasn't really true was that fight scene with them, where she's like, "Open your eyes, like you just blindly following this
Oh,
man."
yeah. So he never raised his voice to her like
She
that?
said that they
Or
really-
she never, like, pushed him like that?
I don't think she pushed him like that. She also said they didn't really fight,
Sure.
arguing and stuff like that wasn't really their thing.
Yeah.
And he says like in his book that like maybe they argued like once, but not like nothing big. So that was just like, you know, if Malcolm's going to listen to anybody, it's her. You know, if you had to go to a character, you needed to be like, wake
She
the fuck
is
up.
his greatest confidant.
Greatest confidant.
Absolutely.
And he was a good husband to her. He didn't have premarital relationships as far as we know. I think that's why it's really funny when the FBI or whatever is like bugging his room. And
and
they're
like,
listening to him.
compared to
Martin Luther King, he's
this
a
dude's
saint.
a monk or something like that. Yeah.
Because Martin Luther King, we found out, had some sex tapes out there.
Shucking and jiving. Yeah.
Yeah, so he wasn't what we thought he was, but
Sure.
Malcolm, he was not like Muhammad, where he was out there impregnating women and, he found Betty and that was his life. He was like, I'm going to keep giving you kids. 6 kids. 6 girls came out of her.
Stargate, let's go.
Let's go.
And I can get on board with that too, because you see me and Ashley, like we disagree,
Yeah.
but we're not Jodie and Yvette. You know what I mean? We never get that far.
Yeah.
We don't break furniture. We don't yell and scream at each other. We don't try to hurt one another's feelings, and I think that Malcolm also understood that you don't get anywhere by being that person with your life partner.
Right. If you wanted to be here for you, you got to be there for her.
Absolutely. I think there was a strong presence of empathy within Malcolm, which clearly translated to his relationship with
with his wife,
Miss Shabazz. Mrs.
Dr. Betty Shabazz. I don't know what she's a doctor in, but that's what it said. But yeah.
You got a doctorate, you earned it somewhere.
You earned it somewhere.
But yeah, that's why he does that famous shot at that specific moment when our great Sam Cooke is singing "Change Gonna Come."
Because it's gonna come.
Because it's gonna come. Absolutely.
That song, forever. I'm sure I'm not the only black person that hears that song and in their head, Denzel's floating down the street as Malcolm. Like literally, always. If I hear it in a movie, I feel like someone's about to die.
Jeez.
Yeah. I guess it's traumatized me. I don't know. I love that song. I love Sam Cooke.
Sure. If you don't love Sam Cooke, you can turn off this podcast right now.
A thing about this movie that I love that Spike didn't do, that I feel like a lot of other movies do, is that Malcolm was so famous that he had famous friends like Ali, Sam Cooke, were like his friends who were like in his crew.
Yeah.
And they didn't really, in this movie, show them, which I think is
He
great.
didn't. Yeah, I think
it's great.
that's smart, because that would have like shined a different light on the story. Like, it would have taken away from the hero's journey.
Yeah, exactly. And like, okay, guess who auditioned for this movie? And she said it was her worst audition she's ever done.
For which character?
They didn't say what character. Probably maybe the waitress. I feel like she could play that.
Nia Long.
No.
She's just been on my mind today.
I know. I'm talking about Regina King.
Okay.
She said this was the worst. By this time, she had done Boys in the Hood and shit, so
Sure.
she was making a name.
Yeah.
That's why I said I feel like she was like the waitress that he was
Now,
sitting
it's funny that you bring up Regina King, because I was just thinking, when I hear Change Gonna Come, I think of the movie that she just recently directed.
Her first
about
directing.
that specific song.
on. One Night in Miami.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
And it came out in 2020, and it has Malcolm X in it. And so, yeah, that's a really good movie. She did a great job on that one.
If y'all haven't seen One Night in Miami, I recommend it.
Yeah, we might have to put that on another Black History list.
We give Nobi and Jason 2 thumbs up.
Yes. So she
It's
went
been a
from
while since we've had a Siskel and Ebert.
2 thumbs up. Yeah, she had the worst audition of her life
Okay.
for this movie, but it inspired her to keep going, and she ended up doing her own movie based around this time.
Sure.
She did a great job. So
Tell your story. What is it?
She-
It's right there on the floor
I
where you
got
left
it.
it.
I got it. Yeah, so I love her. I kind of wish I would have seen her in it because I love Regina King.
Oh, you're talking about when Laura is in the bar.
I feel like
That waitress that he's talking to?
yeah, the one that she picks his hat up. And she's like, "How come we didn't?" I feel like that's probably who she would have been casted as.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just.
I do like
guessing.
the actress that they chose. I think she did a fantastic job.
What else is she from? She's in a lot of things.
Yeah, there's people in this that you recognize from other movies, even Spike
Die
Lee
Hard.
movies.
That's what she's from.
Okay,
Die Hard with a Vengeance. She's part of.
got you.
I was like, she looks familiar.
Like even the teacher at the end, you recognize her?
Yes.
She's the mom from Beach Street.
Beat Street.
Good morning.
She always plays such a sweet,
She's so
loving-
sweet.
Yeah.
She's got that voice.
That voice, that face, like her whole swag.
And while we are going to talk about some of the actors in this movie, I want to touch on some of the smaller parts in this because I love how Spike brings back actors.
Oh yeah,
from other
he likes
movies.
to keep his shit.
Absolutely, like Mr. Giancarlo Esposito.
Of course.
You know, everybody knows him from Breaking Bad and
Gus.
from some other thing. Motherfucking Gus.
Gus.
But
We
before
talked about
he was
him
doing that,
in Do
Spike
the
was
Right
putting him
Thing.
in everything.
He was like, "Look, we need somebody to shoot Malcolm. You down?" He's like, "Yeah. You gonna have to get your ass beat and shot."
Yeah.
You down?
Fuck.
Yeah, I love.
Which also,
that.
like, that fucking face tells everything.
It's a suicide mission. They didn't think they were gonna make it out.
No,
Like
exactly.
that's not a real.
Yeah.
And he got like the Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez.
Mm-hmm.
His face was on the newspaper, and people saw him, chased him down in the street, and stomped his ass out until the cops came. And they were doing that same thing to him. I loved it.
Yeah.
You can't come up in here and
They
start
knew.
shit.
The
Yeah.
loyalty in them was strong.
Was strong.
Fuck. Mm-hmm. They told him do it for the nation. Motherfuckers. I love this man, the late great Ozzie Davis. Fantastic actor. We talked about him in Do the Right Thing. We will talk about him in one of my
And his
favorite
beautiful
boxing
wife,
movies, Gladiator.
Ruby.
I love the interviews that he has out there about this movie.
Well, you know that him and real Malcolm X were friends.
Absolutely.
That he even gave the eulogy at his funeral. So that speech at the very end that he tells was his eulogy that he wrote and gave at the actual funeral, which I think is... I never knew that. I don't think I ever knew that he...
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so we actually get to hear from his voice.
Yeah. And you hear the inflections. You hear the inflections in his voice, especially at the end of the movie, but also in the interviews talking about this movie. And he talks about, how this movie reminded him as well as everyone how much we miss Malcolm, how much the world needs.
Yeah, if you were my friend and then you died 40 years ago and then someone made a movie about you, I would start crying too, because all those emotions and feelings that he said that he like kind of had buried or forgot like came up because he was transported back to that time.
I'm going to need you to go ahead and find a circle of vampires out here in Hollywood somehow, because you're not going anywhere.
I've been looking. No, I know I'm not going anywhere.
Okay.
I'm gonna find.
checking.
I'll find a
Just
vampire.
Yeah.
A vampire in Brooklyn.
Kind
Miss
of
Angela.
itches a little. Interesting.
Miss Angela Bassett.
Okay. Or I thought you were talking about Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, but I mean Angela Bassett's in this.
True.
See?
Okay.
And we should do that for Halloween. You don't like super scary. That's not
You
scary.
want to do Vampire in Brooklyn?
Yeah.
I am
Yeah,
down.
that's a
I'm
good
always
one.
down for an Eddie Murphy movie.
And it's just such a step out of like Angela Bassett's like shit. So
Yeah.
it's like perfect.
I'll bring on my buddy Andrew. He works with us on Abbott. His brother just did the latest Beverly Hills Cop movie.
Who are they done?
I believe they're done. Yeah.
shit.
Also, he wears
coming.
the rap gift jacket from Beverly Hills Cop from part 3, I want to say. I could be wrong. I could be mistaken of which installment, but he's got a Beverly Hills Cop jacket, and I am very jealous.
Let's jack him.
It's not my size.
It's my size.
It might be your size. That was just for Smashley. But also Miss Lonette McKee. Some of you notice her in this movie as Malcolm X's mother. She does a fantastic
She does
job.
do a fantastic
Others, when you see her, will recognize her as Jesus Shuttlesworth's mother in He Got Game.
Yeah, she be playing the mamas.
I adore her.
They're
And
like
the way
light-skinned
she
and mom.
fights for her children.
Yeah.
Like,
you try to take my kids away
Bitch, if
because
you don't get out of that fucking chair and get out of my house trying to take my
just
children.
walking in.
Ooh.
I know.
That gravel in her voice when she's saying those things.
Oh yeah, it's what's her face from Indiana Jones.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's funny. Indiana Jones was at Warner Brothers today. Harrison Ford, that is.
Was he wearing the hat and had the whip?
I don't know. I didn't see him. I just heard it on walkie.
He had a satchel.
Yeah. Our second got on walkie. He's like, y'all know Indiana Jones is out here.
Han Solo. That's what I would have said.
There was some people at Warner's today. I'm not going to lie.
I picked you up at Warner's today.
Yes, you did. How was it?
It was
You
a
missed-
lot of traffic.
You missed Josh Gad by 3 minutes.
3 minutes. And Warner Brothers. This movie's a Warner Brothers.
This is a Warner Brothers movie.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, it was.
Oh,
I got one more person to mention.
okay.
Who is in this movie? Young actor at the time, known as John David Washington.
Yep. Yep.
If y'all don't know, that is Denzel's son, who has become a wonderful actor as he has matured into a man.
Oh,
but
he
he
works
was
with
in this one as well.
He works with Uncle Spike sometimes.
Every once in a while.
But this was his first Spike Lee movie.
This was his first one.
There's 3 generations of Washingtons in this movie. Father, son, and then Denzel's mama's in here. Now, I could not pick out who she was.
Okay.
But apparently his mama is in this as well. She's probably some old lady in the crowd somewhere.
Sure.
But yeah, he was.
It wasn't the one that comes up to Malcolm at the end, right?
No, because she's an actress. I've seen her and shit.
I've seen her. I almost placed her. I was like, wait a minute, is that? No.
She always plays a nice lady. I don't know who she is.
She's not the one from Coming to America. She's like, if you're really a prince, I'll marry you.
No.
Okay.
That lady's a little
Like,
cute
for
little
a
lady.
second, I was like, is that her?
I thought the same thing. It's not, though. I don't know where she's from, but that's not his mama.
Okay. You know what we should talk about is the fact that Spike Lee is an actor in this movie.
He
Plays Shorty.
He Alfred Hitchcock himself.
Absolutely. And I think he did a great job. You know.
I think Shorty is a mixture of a bunch of people that he ran with.
Malcolm?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think Red Fox.
Ooh, maybe.
Because I watched this interview and Red was talking about how he would they would rob people. They met working at some place, and then they would
sleep with white women.
Sleep with white women. They would sleep on roofs of buildings.
Really?
And they would steal shit and then sell it. They always had a hustle going on.
Gotcha.
And eventually Red was just like, I'm trying to get this comedian shit going. And kind of broke off from it, especially once Malcolm went to jail.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like Shorty is.
Did Red go to jail also?
Not with Malcolm.
Okay.
I don't know if he eventually. I feel like he probably
Different
went.
white women.
But I can't see Red with a white woman.
Uh-huh. Count 7.
Yeah.
Count 8.
Chicago Red. Yeah, I think that he's a bit of the Shorty.
He's I can't think of the word. I've been drinking. But he's loyal to Elizabeth. I'm coming for you, Elizabeth.
I feel like we talked about, but he had a heart attack on set of his TV show, and people kind of didn't take it serious at first because of his Elizabeth. I'm coming to. Yeah, he's been faking heart attacks for forever. That at first people were like, oh shit, he fell to the ground.
Yeah.
It was a whole. If you
That's interesting.
Yeah, if you say you having a heart attack for the past 20, 30 years, when you really have a heart attack, people aren't going to be taking you serious, I guess.
Agreed. Yeah. You cried wolf too many times.
Too many times. Elizabeth, I'm coming to me.
I'm coming for you, Elizabeth.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, well, let's dive into these actors. We're not going to talk about too many. This is a very long movie. We're going to keep it a short podcast. I do want to talk about Miss Teresa Randall, who plays Laura. Mm-hmm. She does a fantastic job. We love her. We empathize with her character.
Yeah.
You almost think this is what might have happened. In an alternate universe, Malcolm met Laura. He didn't go home with the white girl. He stayed loyal to Laura. They got married. They started a small business. They raised a bunch of kids, and everything worked out wonderfully except for society.
You think she would have waited for him? Because
She wanted to give it up to him.
No,
he
but
said
like,
no.
wait, six years? That's how long he spent in jail?
No, I'm saying that he never went. The night one when she had
Okay.
to go freshen herself up.
Yeah.
And white girl had
girl got her.
the eyes for him.
She said, how about
And-
you take that little girl home and you come back?
Don't worry, it'll be here
It'll
when you
be
get
here
back.
when you get back. You say that to a guy,
Damn white women, god damn it.
I can give up that pork.
How you doing it, boy?
White women. She got him. But, I mean, she was running really, I do like where she, like.
That temptation. She put that temptation right in front of him.
But I like that when he shows, like, his power over her and he's like, kiss my foot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, white lady.
If you think I'm just any other that you've already been with, that's not the case. No, absolutely not.
I hate feet. But if Denzel asked me to kiss him, I probably.
But he stops her in his track,
Especially,
in her
like,
tracks,
Malcolm
because
him.
she tries to run all over him. She's
Yeah.
like- he straight up tells her like, I don't like women that talk too much. Shut up. You know, when she's trying to control the situation.
If someone said that to me,
True, and it's
I'm
not.
gone.
Yeah, agreed. Now, this is more so. He is at a disadvantage from Jump Street being
Yes.
a black man
With a white
at
woman.
this time with a white woman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's used to being in control. She's used to getting what she wants.
she looked like Christine Theron. Like, that's who I thought she looked like.
Who's Christine?
Is that her name?
Charlize.
Charlize. I've
You
been
been drinking?
drinking. I've been drinking.
Is the mustache too big?
It's too big. It's too big. I feel like she looked like a young her. I liked it. I liked her.
Okay.
I mean, even though, she gets away with everything, they didn't have to go to jail.
They did for like.
In the movie.
Yeah.
In real life, they didn't. Their parents
Okay.
had money
I got you.
and they got off.
I got you. Well, Laura's character is the one that breaks my heart the most. Because she goes from saving her virginity for Mr. Right, as Malcolm calls it.
He said, "Listen to your grandma."
She has the opportunity. Listen to your grandmother.
Yeah.
Now is not the time. You don't want to do this with me because I'm not the man that's going to stick around.
Not on the beach.
Exactly. To ending up with the wrong man. If you can even call that man a man.
Man, yeah. He was a lot.
To where, and I know that life. I've seen that life where a man has got this woman so insecure, so dependent on verbal affirmations from this person that you are giving them your last dollar out of your purse.
He's like, let me get $5, $10.
Exactly.
She's like, I just gave you money.
And I want to whoop that man's ass so bad.
Yeah, leave a junkie until he's.
But this is the transition that you
I
see.
know.
You see the stages
I know.
of her being a virgin, her wanting to be a good girl, her wanting to make Malcolm her first, her wanting to be loyal to him.
Yeah,
And
maybe
then he
would have been a
turns her
good way.
down. And then she has to choose from the rest.
Yeah,
And the rest is slim pickings,
it's Slim Pickens.
at least in her experience.
Yeah,
She ends up with this dude. This dude has an addiction.
Mm-hmm.
This dude uses her as a asset.
yeah, meal ticket.
Exactly. Turns her out, like the waitress said, like Regina King's character auditioned for, says, he not yet, but he's about to turn her out any day now. And he does.
And he
Fast
does.
forward a number of years, and Malcolm is walking by, and she's on the street.
Yeah, hooking.
Hooking for a white man.
Yeah, does he see her or she sees him? I think
She sees him. He doesn't see her.
Yeah, she's like, "Come on, daddy," and
Yeah.
like takes him into the Mm-hmm.
Because she sees her life gone wrong.
Yeah, I'd hide too if I was her. Yeah, I wouldn't.
You're ashamed.
Yeah,
I've been ashamed. I've hidden when I've seen people in public when I was in a position I didn't want to be in.
I hide from people even if I'm in an okay position. Like some people, I just don't want to see. I'm out trying to go to the grocery store. I ain't trying to.
I got you.
Chitty chat chat.
But like even when I was working at Home Depot, I hid from some people. I saw some people in there, and I didn't want them to know that I was here, working retail, not going to school. I didn't want to answer the questions because I knew I wasn't where I should be. You know, I knew I wasn't reaching the potential that they expected of me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a horrible feeling, and that doesn't hold a candle to what her reality was.
Yeah. She had to live that.
And Teresa Randall did a hell of a job.
She did a hell of a job.
Love her. Yeah. You know who else I love?
Who?
West Indian Archie.
I knew you were gonna go.
Mr. Delroy Lindo.
We talked about him in Crooklyn.
We talked about him in Crooklyn.
I want to do Ransom.
I want to do Romeo Must Die.
Oh, yeah. Romeo Must Die. Definitely. Yeah. No, but Ransom, I love him in that.
Gone in 60 Seconds.
Oh, yeah. Gone in 60
Green
seconds.
Tally Up, Green Tally
Damn,
Down. We got to do that one. That's
he's
one of
such a great
Ashley's
actor.
favorite movies.
Gone is your favorite?
She loves that one.
Okay. Got to do the...
But he plays West Indian Archie. He files everything up here.
Nah, he should have wrote that shit down
He should've
because his
wrote a
number,
couple
he's
things
getting
down.
old. His numbers are
You're
wrong.
slipping, Archie. That's all I'm saying.
Like he
Phase him out.
he is butthurt,
He is.
and I don't feel like Malcolm said it super like mean. It felt more jokey than anything. Like you slipping, Robert.
Agreed.
But he didn't take it that way.
No. Because like he said, this is the dark side of the world.
That's true.
You know what I mean? This is the underground gangster side of the world. His reputation absolutely is on the line. If he's wrong, everybody else is going to question his memory.
Well, then
You know
like,
what I mean? He's a
just keep it on the
number
DL.
running man.
well, don't drink and do coke and expect to remember numbers
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But up until this point, he always has.
because he
Or
was
he's
young.
always gotten away with it and nobody has questioned him on it. You know what I mean?
I mean-
It takes a person like Malcolm, a high intellectual, high capacity person, to say you're slipping.
Because I understand because you ain't supposed to write it down. We saw that in Casino.
Sure.
Was it Casino? Casino. The dude was writing everything down, all the monies, and when he dies, the FBI comes in and he has a heart attack because they opened all his books and they had every transaction down. It's like the same shit. You
I don't
write
think
it
that
down.
was Casino.
What, Goodfellas? No, that's
It wasn't Goodfellas either. I don't know what movie that was.
It's definitely Casino.
Nah, because in Casino, he doesn't die.
He has a heart attack. You know who I'm talking about?
Who are you talking about?
He's not like
It's
Joe
not Robert
Pesci
De
or
Niro,
Robert
is
De
it?
Niro. He's
Okay.
just one of the dudes who
Okay.
always gets sent places, and he gets mad because he never gets paid back. And so he's like, "I'm gonna start keeping records of all the money everybody owes me," and he starts keeping records of the shit. So when the shit hits the fan and everybody starts coming for people, they come for him, and he ends up having a heart attack on the floor as they're like going through all the books because we have all the evidence. So I understand not writing it down.
I'm coming for you, Elizabeth.
I'm coming for you, Elizabeth. He did. He fell out in front of his wife.
Okay.
Yeah. I love that movie. We haven't done Casino.
We haven't done
We
Casino.
did Goodfellas.
It's been a while since we've done a Scorsese movie.
Well, I'm down. Can I talk about a scene that I really...
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the scene where Denzel is walking into the college and the white girl stops him and she's like,
Oh my God.
I read your books. And, you know, I want to know as like a non-biased white person what I could do to help the cause. And he's like, nothing, and pushes past her. Now, this really did happen. A girl came up to him when he was in a restaurant and asked the same question. And he basically tore her down and she cried and like ran off. And towards the end of his life, he reflected on this moment and he said he felt really bad about it. Because when I was a kid and I used to watch this, I'm like, well, look, that's a good white person who wants to help.
Yeah.
Like, all the things that you say, most white people read your stuff and they don't want to help you because they're the devil to you, you know? This girl saw what you were saying and wanted to help, and you just threw her away. Who knows? Who knows what she did? She could have ended up being like, you know what, fuck black people, and it becomes racist. You never know.
Yeah, she could have had a negative perspective based on that one
That one
experience.
accountant, yeah.
True. And I would argue that obviously this is based on what he had learned up to that point.
Up to that point.
And like you said, he didn't trust any white people at this time.
At this time.
You know, that's what he had learned. That's what he had experienced. That's what I would say I don't know if it's a large portion, but yeah, you might even say a large portion of Black Americans experienced and have a defense mechanism put up, justly so. You know, and she, while she has good intentions.
She was talking to the wrong Malcolm. Now, if
She
she
was
would have
talking to the wrong
if she would have
Malcolm,
talked to the
exactly.
Malcolm that came back from Mecca, he would have been.
He would have given
different.
her a purpose.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
He would have been different. But she asked him before all that shit, and so
Yeah.
he was just going off of what he's been told.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He was regurgitating, which is why Homeboy catches him after his speech in the lobby.
He said,
You know what I mean?
I feel
And he's
sorry
like,
for
if you.
you.
don't know, I feel sorry for you the
I feel
most.
sorry for you because
know?
you're following the devil, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. What does he call him? The Elijah Muhammad's pimp or something like
Oh,
that?
you said, are you pimping for him? Mm-hmm. He's like, what? Yeah, because he's got all these
Because he's trying to
hoes
tell him, you know, the writing is on the wall.
on the wall, and I feel sad that you were supposed to be the front man and you're the last to know.
Yeah, exactly.
And all his little henchmen, they probably know. That's why they
Sure.
pulled him out of there so quick.
But like any relationship, you don't see it until you gotta step outside of it.
Yeah.
How many friends just you told like, girl, you need to leave him. What are you doing? They don't see it.
They don't.
They'll make any excuse. You don't understand. It's not that simple. I can't just leave.
him.
Like he's got my CDs in his car. You know.
That's the thing.
Well, back in the day.
Back in the day.
But it could be the most rudimentary
Yeah.
excuse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's never gonna be a right time
A
to
right
say
time.
goodbye.
It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday.
You know what I'm curious about?
What?
I could be just mistaken, but West Indian Archie doesn't die in this. His side guys die.
He's
You know?
he's sick,
He's sick.
and when he goes sees them, like he ain't got much longer.
He's dependent on that shit.
He's blind, right? Yeah.
He's- I don't think he was blind, but like he's in that chair.
Yeah,
he
he-
can't do much. He is a
Broke.
product of the life.
Yeah. There's no retirement.
He
fund
has
for,
succumbed to the vices.
Yeah.
They have taken hold of him. You know what I mean? Like even when he's like moving his arm, he's like, yeah, that's better. This is nice.
Yeah.
You know, and even when he goes to visit him, like Malcolm is cleaned up. He is together. He goes to see him with so much grace within him,
Because I feel like
and he
he
still
felt
needs to know. He's like, did you really have those numbers?
he's-
He needs to know because
he
that was a
did. That was probably
a
a big
pivotal
part, yeah.
point in his life.
Yeah.
That's when he stopped being in control of his life.
Yeah.
West Indian Archie.
Well, you better write it down and burn the papers, like something. Because if you can't remember,
Sure.
yeah.
I would argue Malcolm got his confidence. Well, not necessarily. He already had some
Yeah,
confidence.
he had a swag.
But he got his intellectual debating confidence, his mental fortitude from West Indian Archie. You know what I mean? Hold yourself to a higher standard. You don't need to write it down.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that he learned a great deal from this man.
True.
And then after he learned all of that, he met his wife. And
Okay.
she raised his level of expectation of himself even higher.
Even higher.
You know, the fantastic, always a pleasure to talk about, Miss Angela Bassett.
Okay. This woman has played everybody. Everybody.
Everybody in everything.
She has played Betty. She's played Tina. She's
Trey's
played
mom.
Trey's mom. She played Rosa Parks.
I said, sit your ass
I
down
feel like
before
she
I raise
played-
my voice and make a fool out of both of us.
Was she in Martin Luther King? I feel like she played Loretta Scott King. Maybe not. I feel like if anybody could play,
Sure. If anybody could play it.
she did play Rosa Parks though. But like they're like, look, we need. She played Michael Jackson's mama. Like they're like, we need a strong black woman. Mm-hmm. That's what we. I got to see her at the Wax Museum here in Hollywood.
You had me.
Her wax statue is like Hers is really good. Like I kept looking at it, thinking like, is she gonna?
Bitch.
Yeah, is this? Are
Blink.
you real? Yeah. I thought she was gonna jump out at me, but yeah, that's the closest to her. But I think she does a great job of grounding Malcolm and Denzel.
Yes.
You know,
She absolutely does.
she
And the nation tries to set that up to a certain degree.
what?
You know, they just don't Miss Betty Shabazz and Malcolm X. You know, they introduce her to him.
Yeah, and then they become
They just don't realize what they're creating.
yeah.
They don't realize how good of a woman she is and what he can do with a good woman.
With a good woman
Supporting him.
and his babies.
Yeah, absolutely. But I adore her. I think she does a fantastic job.
We'll talk about her again because we need to do Boys in the Hood.
We haven't done Boys in the Hood yet.
No,
Wow, there's so many movies we haven't done.
we're working on it.
We are just getting started, people.
Yeah,
This is
it
only
takes-
season 3.
Hit it, season 3, 5.
I don't know, like
We have 5.
100 something
Yeah,
episodes in.
we in there. Yeah, I think she did a great job. We'll definitely talk more about her.
Adore her every time.
Go listen to What's Love Got to Do with It
What's love?
and drink the Simply the Best. I still make that one. It's so fun.
I would argue we do need another hero.
I need a hero. And then Angela Bassett will play her.
What's that?
Angela Bassett will play her. Any hero. That's her.
Yeah, for sure. I love that she, like, some of these scenes that you watch, you can tell that they're improvised. Like the argument scene. You can't talk that fast on a scripted dialogue. The overlapping doesn't make sense. You have to be listening. You have to be working off. You have to understand where you're coming from, what you're trying to accomplish, what your talking points are, and make them your own.
What do you want me to
Which
do? That's all he kept
Denzel
asking her.
absolutely did, and apparently, Angela Bassett did as well.
Yeah, no, she
Because
makes that scene.
Denzel is known for marking up a script so much that you can't really see a whole lot of white on that paper.
Ooh, I love that.
You know what I mean?
I read a lot of notes. on
And
mine,
so, for Angela to go through those scenes like she did with him, the way that she did, in the manner that she did, staying in character, working off of, knowing all of her circumstances, not shying away,
too. Yeah.
it speaks volumes about her as an actress. Because he had an extra year, I would argue a year and some change, to prepare for this.
He had longer than
He
that.
was the first person cast.
He was the first
I don't know
person
when
cast.
she was cast.
He was cast even when Spike Lee wasn't the director. He was pretty much cast.
Mm-hmm.
They also were talks of Eddie Murphy, which I'm glad they did not do that.
Adore Eddie Murphy. Not for this role.
But years before this, Denzel was in a play When the Chickens Come Home to Roost, where he played Malcolm X.
Okay.
So he said when he was in the midst of doing that, he read everything, listened to every speech, and especially for this movie, he talked to, Betty Shabazz and his kids and whoever was still alive. He talked to.
Okay.
So if anybody knows the most about Malcolm X, is that fool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because he is an actor of osmosis.
Yeah, I mean, he took this serious. In that year that you were talking about, he gave up pork and alcohol, and he started
And
going
white women.
And white women. Nah, he was with his wife. She's black. And then the Future of Islam classes, and he learned the Lindy Hop. Did
he really?
Yeah, that's really him doing all the
Swing
shit.
dancing. There you
Yeah.
go.
And he was so meticulous in what he was doing that he knew exactly what pair of glasses Malcolm would wear for each speech. He's like,
Love that.
No, those aren't the glasses. It's these ones for that speech. And you're like, how do you know that? And I've been doing my research, man.
Did the homework.
He did the homework,
Absolutely.
and that's why no one could have played him but him. I think Denzel is shorter. He
Than
is
Malcolm?
Than Malcolm.
Okay.
Like Denzel's
You wouldn't
6'1",
know it from.
and Malcolm is like 6'4".
Jesus, he
And
was
then-
that tall?
Yeah. Denzel is darker skinned than Malcolm.
Yeah.
Malcolm was red bone with freckles, you know? Mm-hmm. So people off the bat were not really like, this isn't going to work. But he got the essence of this fool. And especially by the time he comes back and he's wearing the beard, you look at him and you're like, oh, yeah, no.
I would argue he
you
also
really look-
slimmed down for this role.
Yeah, because Malcolm is a tall, slender dude.
He's
So,
wiry.
so like, he got the essence of him, the
Yeah.
swagger of him, his
Sure.
tone. Like, if Denzel wanted to stop acting and wanted to be a preacher, he could.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because his sermons on here are taking you to church.
Spike talks about one of the scenes that they shot. They shot this on real film. You know,
Yeah.
at this time, 1992, that's all
92.
you could do.
Yeah.
35 millimeter film.
Yeah.
Those reels are only about 10 minutes long. And so they were shooting one of the speeches, and Denzel kept going.
And he just let him go.
And the camera operator's like, we're going to run out of film. We're going to run out of film. And they ran out of film. And when he came over to talk to Denzel after he had finally stopped, his eyes were glazed over.
Yeah, he was.
And
He
he was
was
like, I'm not looking at Denzel. This
Yeah.
Malcolm
Yeah.
is here. You know what I mean?
and Spike said it's because he took this so serious by like
Absolutely.
learning the religion and giving up bacon and booze. Oh, that's hard.
That's bacon this morning.
I almost
And
put
booze
bacon
this
in.
evening.
I almost put bacon in this drink just to like spite him. But yeah, he fucking killed it.
Yeah, I would argue this was a religious experience for Mr. Washington, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, okay, can we talk about the real star of the movie? Let's go. Okay,
You have my attention.
the real star of this movie, Mecca, in Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
Okay, one, it is a very beautiful religious holy ground, okay, for Muslims to come and worship and fellowship together. That's what it is. But if you're not Muslim, you're not allowed to go there. And you're definitely not allowed to videotape or film.
Sure.
So Spike had to go to them and be like, hey, you know, I know this isn't a documentary, which is the only time that they usually do let people film. But they were like, he was like, I'm doing this for Malcolm. And this is where he came, and this is what he did, and we want to show that. And I believe that they felt the message and felt Brother Malcolm, and they loved that Denzel was taking all of this very seriously and learning the prayers and all of the things. He was doing all of the things that they allowed them to actually film there.
Yeah.
And it's
Had it been a different director, I don't think it would have been the case.
Yeah, I don't think it would. I feel like if it was a different movie, if it wasn't Malcolm X, I don't think they would have let him do it.
No, I agree. But even if it was Malcolm X, but it wasn't Spike Lee, if it had been the original director that they slated,
Yeah,
it wouldn't have felt the same.
I doubt they would have even went there. They would have did the Jersey Shore, like you said.
Exactly. It would have lessened the movie,
Yeah.
it would have lessened the story, and it wouldn't have reached the next generation.
Because that's like one of my favorites, just to see all those people just doing circles around it and him praying next to dark people and white people. And it opened his eyes up.
Absolutely.
So not only was Spike and Denzel, non-Muslims, allowed to be on this sacred ground, but he made sure that he hired only Muslims crew.
Okay.
So that, like, he's like, okay, I get it. Us two, yes, it's a pass. But, like, the rest of them, I will hire your people so that they can come on and
Sure.
come on here.
As long as, they
Yeah.
can do the job, by all means.
They did a great job. I think that, like, that's one of my, like, the scene is just so beautiful and so, like, I get what he's trying to do of showing, like, Malcolm just needed to get out of Harlem, which is a small little neighborhood where bad shit happened, and
Yeah.
go home to the motherland and
Get
like,
out of the hatred and understand the
Understand.
source of the message.
You're hating white men, but there's a white Muslim sharing his food and drink with you.
Yeah.
You know, so like, yeah, I love that part, and I think that it was so crazy and telling that, like, you know, they let them actually do it.
I love that.
Yeah, but that's what I think the star is.
I'll agree with that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That being said, Mr. Denzel.
Mr. Malcolm, Brother Malcolm.
Brother Malcolm. The lines are blurred very, very well in this movie.
Denzel was nominated
Yep.
and snubbed
Yep.
for Best Actor at the Academy Awards for a leading role.
Who won? Do you know?
If I'm not mistaken, Pacino won for Sin of a Woman that year.
Damn.
I could be wrong.
That was a good movie. It was no Malcolm X.
Hoo-ah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was no Malcolm X, but that was a good movie. Son of a Woman.
Yeah. And Pacino had some gracious things to say about Denzel, you know, as did Spike. You know, Denzel was young, and the Academy is the Academy. You know,
Yeah.
in my personal opinion, I think that a lot of those choices are made not by the entire Academy, but by a handful of.
Oh, some people don't even watch the shit. They don't
Agenda-driven.
even like know. They just.
I've lost a
vote
lot
on
of
it.
faith in awards the last 3 to 5 years.
Because I feel like it was the last Oscars. They did like a survey, and pretty much people just voted on like, oh well, you know, you're a big name, like not even off of their like shit.
Yeah, it's no longer based on performance,
Yeah.
and I would argue that it's been that way for a little while.
Yeah,
You know,
That's why I
and it's
watched-
very sad.
That's
it's
why I
very
just
sad.
watch the clips. I don't spend the 2 hours or whatever watching this bullshit. I just want to see the highlights.
And they make a joke about it. You know, you remember the year that nothing against Jennifer Lawrence. I love her. I think she's a fantastic actress. But she won Best Actress for Silver Linings Playbook.
When she should have
that
won it for
year.
Katniss Everdeen because she fucking killed it in all those.
Well, they made a joke about it that year. They made a sketch with Sally Field, who was also nominated against her. And in
For what,
the
legal?
actual sketch, she says, fuck, Jennifer Lawrence is going to win. And she won.
I do like her,
Like,
but not for that movie.
If that doesn't tell you that there is an agenda and that the choices are made before the envelope, you know.
I'd give it to the one where it's based on a true story where her character invents the mop that you can squeeze, like self-squeeze mop.
Oh, interesting. I haven't seen that one.
Oh yeah, and De Niro's in it.
Okay.
It's pretty good. And she's like, you know, had to come up with money to come up with her idea to get on the
Yeah.
shopping network. Like that one felt more like I would have given it to her more.
Point
than
being,
Silver
they're
Bullet.
losing viewership because nobody believes that the awards are honest.
I don't think they are.
You know, there's been too much negativity, too much speculation to the point where people aren't watching anymore. You know, they don't. When you watch the awards, it's like, ooh, I watched this movie. I really hope they win. Oh, they deserve to win, but they're up against this, which was also a good movie, and that person's been a fantastic actor for 50 years, you know, but this one has only been doing it for 15, but God, they're good. Oh, I have no idea. That doesn't happen anymore. You know who's going to win already, and it's fucked up.
I feel like it's because of Weinstein.
I don't think he has that much power. It's got nothing.
No,
it's
I'm
got-
talking about like he changed the culture of academies during the 90s when all of his movies were winning. He was out there selling his ass, selling the movies, paying people to vote for it. And I think he
Sure.
set a precedent through the 90s and early 2000s that it doesn't matter if you're good or not. If I can pay you to vote for me or if I can sway you to vote for my movie, you will. I think I'm honest to God, I think that maybe not just him, but that generation of film
I would
movies.
say it's not just him because he has no grasp on the decisions that have been made in the last 5 years.
5 years, yes.
But you've seen in the last 5 years that people have won that didn't deserve to.
because he set a precedent.
Maybe
That's what I-
like,
that's
as I
how I
understand
see
it. It takes $5 million to run an Oscar campaign.
And he ran
That's
his
bullshit
hard.
in the first place. Like, the job should be done once the performance is done, once the set dressing is done, once the costume design is done.
Because he
once
was a
the
good
special
10
effects
years
is done,
where he was
whatever the
winning
case.
everything.
You know what I mean? Do the job and then let the Academy decide, let the people decide, let the SAG decide, let the Golden Globes decide.
People wanna
let
know.
The
foreign press aside,
Yeah.
whoever the case. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so do you want to...
All I'm saying is, we've been had.
Shut up! Don't make me start. We've been bamboozled. Hoodwinked. Okay, so you want to hear about some people that could have been in this
Rattle
movie?
it off. I'm done.
Samuel L. Jackson was up for this movie.
That's who?
West
Indian Archie.
Yes, I
Yeah.
definitely could see that.
I can see that.
I wouldn't... I feel like he might have been too young, but...
I think Delroy Lindo turned in a fantastic performance.
Oh, yeah, no, I wouldn't recast him. But if you were like, Samuel Jackson's going to take over, I'm like, okay. Like, I wouldn't be too mad.
I wouldn't be mad at it, but yeah.
Another person, Tracy Ellis Ross, auditioned for this movie. She didn't get it, but she had such a positive attitude after audition for this that she changed her major at Brown University to theater.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so we
So
would.
this movie changed the trajectory of her life.
Yeah, I don't know what she was going to school for before that, but
We wouldn't have Blackish right now.
we didn't have Blackish, mixes, none of the shits. Yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
What did she audition for?
It didn't say. I don't know how.
She's too young.
She's
to-
like college student, so I
Yeah.
don't know.
Laura, maybe?
I don't know.
Huh. Interesting.
I don't know. But that would have been a cool one.
Yeah.
Another person who does show up in this movie is Nelson Mandela.
Mandela.
Mandela. This is the first and only feature film that he's ever been in.
Interesting.
And like you may know, he does a speech.
He does a speech. Yeah.
And he refused to say the last line by any means necessary.
Yeah.
Basically, because Africa was in like a apartheid, and he was like, "Look, I'm not trying to add fire
Yeah,
to the
we're
fuel."
not trying to say by any means necessary
Yeah.
because that will lead to some bad things happening
bad things.
in the country that I am responsible for.
Just so that you can have your movie. I'm
Yeah.
not going to do that.
I
And
understand that this was this man's message, but
Yeah.
I cannot
That's not
say
mine.
this message at this time.
I can say everything
otherwise-
else but that line. So that's why at the end of the movie it cuts off, and Malcolm says those words himself.
And honestly, I think it's beautiful.
I think it's better that
it
way.
It is
Yeah.
Malcolm's voice.
Yeah,
By any means
by
necessary.
any means necessary. What you got? You got anything?
I got nothing but love for you, baby.
I got nothing but love for you, baby. Got nothing.
I got a
sorry.
hangover on the way.
Oh shit. Okay. So,
Did the damn thing.
Louis Farrakhan,
Uh-huh.
big man in the Nation of Islam, when making this movie, sent a letter to Spike and was like, because I'm sorry, I just thought of like Will Smith for a second, like keep my name out your mouth, like keep my wife's name out your mouth, and so that's why he's not mentioned, which is
Okay.
understandable. Because he should be mentioned. He's in the mix of things, but he was threatened. You know, that's why I said like Goodfellas.
Yeah.
It was a
It's
lot like
very
Goodfellas.
Well, I would say like The Godfather. It's very similar.
I mean
to
Godfather.
The
I'm
Godfather.
sorry. Yes, it's a lot like Godfather, but they did say that people like to compare this to Goodfellas because of like the narration over the changing through the decades and like the way that he filmed things were a lot similar to
Yeah.
that.
But I would
you know,
say
different.
the struggle of getting the movie made was more similar to The Godfather, where
To
they
The Godfather.
like The Godfather had to work with the Italian family, we'll call it,
Mm-hmm.
in order to get this movie made.
Yeah, he had to pay him off and do some shit.
He had to do some things.
Mm-hmm.
Al Ruddy had to do a lot of things.
Yes.
The producer. In this movie, it is the nation that had to sign off on it.
Sign off on it.
You
Like
know.
I said, it's when Coppola was like, "Yo, bitch, I get you. This is what you got to do. This is what I did. I just kept making the movie, and we were too far in. They were like, you don't need to go to Italy." And he's like, "Too late. I'm here. We're filming." They had to keep giving me the money. Then they were throwing the money at him by 2 and 3. So like, you know, that's
There
all
you go.
he had to do.
Yeah.
Okay, so brother Banis, who's the homie in prison?
Oh,
Well, his character is not real. Like, he's a mixture of people, and he's not the one that got Malcolm into.
I was
going
going
to
to say, when did Malcolm discover the nation?
in jail, but
jail.
his brother and sister were sending him letters.
Okay.
And was like, look what we found. This is kind of preaching the same things that like our dad was preaching. And so it wasn't like one brother in prison was like, brother.
If
look,
anything, it was his late father.
his late father and his siblings.
Okay.
And so by the time he came out, he was like indoctrinated into it and believed it and went on with it. So
I got you.
that was pretty cool. All right, I'm out.
Good. I'm out.
Ugh.
And I am very drunk, but I'm going to try and do this scene anyway.
I was going, can I kick my feet up?
You can kick your feet up, throw some splash in there, snap your fingers if you want.
Something.
Shit. We're going to get sexy next week. Because I don't know if you know, but it is not only Black History Month, but it is, Valentine's
Valentine's
month.
Day.
And we appreciate the romantics around here like anybody does.
So we going to try to show some black love. Mm-hmm. Okay. So you ready? Oh, we did it.
We did it.
I'm totally
That is
forgetting
our
what the
show,
fuck I'm supposed to
everybody.
do. We did it. We made it. Follow us on all of the things.
All the things. The Twitters.
The YouTube,
Instagrams, the YouTubes.
the TikToks
Follow us
and
on
the
YouTube.
Talks.
You want to see this beautiful, lovely face Mrs. Nobia brings to us every other week? My goodness.
Yes.
That smile right there.
Get
Y'all don't
into
know what
it.
I'm talking about because y'all not on YouTube.
You're on YouTube. Tell your friends. Tell that one cousin that likes to kiki you about the movies.
Tell your
with
wives. Tell your kids.
We telling everybody out here. So please send us an email if you have any movies or drinks that you want to have us do at Lights Camera Cocktails, no S,
Get that S out of there.
at gmail.com.
March is coming up. I'm ready.
March? You're already focused on March?
I mean, I'm just saying, like, we know what we're doing the next episode.
Yes.
But we don't know what we're doing for
After
March.
that. That's true. That's true.
We're going to march on in.
We go March. Okay. So, yeah, why don't you get us started for our movie next week?
All right, bear with me. I'm fucking drunk right now. Ooh.
Ooh. We getting sexy
Light
in
a
here.
candle over here or something.
Okay.
But let me get this started right here.
Mm-hmm.
Say, baby, can I be your slave? I gotta admit, girl, you're the shit, girl. And I'm digging into your grave. Now, do they call you daughter to the spinning pulsar? Or maybe queen of 10,000 moons? Sister to the distant yet rising star? Is your name Yimmy Ya? Oh, hell no, it's got to be Oshun. Is that the smile I put on your face, girl? Wide as the field of jasmine and clover. Talk that talk, honey. Walk that walk, money. High on legs that'll spite Jehovah. Shit. Who am I? It's not important. But they call me brother to the night. And right now, I am the blues in your left eye, trying to be the funk in your right. Who am I? Well, I'll be whoever you say. But right now, I'm the sight-ripped hunter, blindly pursuing you as my prey. And I just want to give you injections of sublime erections to get you to dance to my rhythm. Make you dream of archetypes of black angels in flight, upon wings of distorted, contorted, metaphoric jism. Come on, Slim. Fuck your old man, I ain't worried about him. It's you I want to step to into my sin. Cause rather than deal with the fallacy of this dry-ass reality, I'd rather dance and romance your sweet ass into a wet dream. Who am I? Well, they call me brother to the night. And right now, I am the blues in your left thigh. But I'm trying to be the funk in your right. Is that alright?
That all right. Yeah.
It was alright.
Snap it.
Alright, everybody, we're drunk as shit
Oh,
over
we did
here.
it. We did it.
But thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you lovely people for a very lovely episode next time
Yes.
on Lights Camera
Cocktails. I am Malcolm X. I am Malcolm X.